Hey everybody, this is Chris. Today I'm going to show you the techniques I use to carve bowls from crappy wood. Now normally I use fresh cut green wood, which is softer and less prone to cracking. But what you don't get with green wood, and you do get with crappy wood, is this amazing figuring that can happen called spalting. And that's when the wood starts to rot from the inside out. And you get this amazing color and streaks through it. There are three main techniques I'm going to focus on today. Saw not chop, protect the ends, and attack the cracks. You'll see this play out through the next four bowls. Here we go. You're probably wondering why I do these ridiculous things, like shoving huge logs in the back of my car. Or using this amazing and ridiculous Japanese whaleback saw to cut them in half. And the reason is, I want to carve a great big bowl. The wood's in really bad shape, so I need to demonstrate these three techniques to be successful. Right away I know I have to saw, not chop. I'm also using a very small adze, which brings a lot less impact to the bowl. I both protect the ends and attack the cracks by cutting corners into each side of the bowl. This allows me to more effectively glue and clamp it. I switch over to a metal band, which is much lower profile and less likely to get hit, damaging my tools. Another technique is to use these massively deep clamps I picked up at the flea market for $25 a piece. They allow me to hold the bowl in the center and leave the ends free to work on. I'm continuing to saw and use lower impact tools to ensure I don't get more cracks. Finally, I can cut off the ends and finish it. Now I'm going to use the same log to make a different style of bowl. In this case, I wasn't able to clamp the ends because they weren't square, and so I ended up with a huge piece breaking off. The shape wasn't conducive to clamping when I glued the piece back on, so I had to use these large rubber bands. I also clamped the bowl in different ways so I could take the pressure off the ends. In terms of attacking these long cracks, I filled them with glue, and then I took sawdust from the actual bowl itself so that it matched the color, and I pressed it into the gaps. I attack the cracks from both sides of the bowl. And then I sanded it down. The next bowl is from a huge maple tree I used to carve Chop Like a Champion. One thing I noticed about the maple is that the spalting didn't go very deep. So instead of carving a very deep bowl, I made it very shallow. So when you finish the inside, there's spalting throughout. The ends of this bowl were very fragile, so I used a board and a towel to create a gap so when I clamped the bowl, they didn't touch the workbench. Here I'm only lightly clamping the ends for this finishing work. The last bowl is probably the most challenging. This maple log is both extremely rotten and extremely spalted. Amazing. We need to figure out how much of this wood is usable. So if you look at the end grain cracking, they go down about 1 inch. So that's okay, because then I can just cut it off right here. But when you turn it over, there's this huge crack right here. And that goes way down in there. In fact, you can see the crack, it goes all the way through. So I'm going to have to split this right here and just use this piece for the bowl. I saw one of these Super Jaws at a woodworking show in the UK and I had to try it out. So thank you for Triton for sending this to me. I'm going to try it out today. Here we go. The setup was ridiculously easy, so I like that. Let's see. Let's unlock, I lock it, crank her down. Oh, that's nice. I want to have some clean ends, so I'm going to see how deep this end grain crack goes, then cut it off in front of that. Now, which side is going to be the top and which side is going to be the bottom? Well, if you look at this side, it's got a lot of wood missing here. There's a big old bug hole here. So if I put this on the bottom and angle this down, I'll basically take both of these out of play. So this is going to be the bottom and this is going to be the top. And these corners are in pretty bad shape. The wood is very powdery. This is already broken off. So I'm gonna round the edges here. Try and use as much wood as I can, but round the edges to take those corners out of play. Then again on the bottom, I'll angle this in and that'll take out this piece that's missing and that big bug hole. One thing you never want to do is chop into what I call an unprotected end. So you can see I'm going around doing the edges first and then chop into them. If I were to chop too deep, this could split through. So I'm always finishing the outside, creating a gap, and then chopping into it, and that will prevent this from breaking through. And I'm going to use this long flat gouge and this scorp to finish the bottom. All right, the inside's done. Now I'm going to work on the outside. Is it working?
I mean, you can't really, I mean, you can see all of them, but you can't see the top of that one in your hand.
Well, that last bowl turned out great. It's the one in my right hand. Has amazing spalting. Thank you for Triton for letting me use their Super Jaws. I think it worked terrific. Well, here they are, all 4 bowls. I'm really happy with how they turned out. You can find all my bowl videos on my YouTube channel on a playlist called Bowl Carving. So please subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChopWithChris so you can follow the progress of my projects. Thank you. Okay, take that one. Thank you. Woo. Thank you.